Food is a great place to use as an anchor point to start connecting different cultures. So food is like a love language. Here's Chinese food, here's Latino food, here's Japanese food. How do we find a universal language? I think we can do the same with the pairings. The alcohol is going to complement, right? That's the idea, that's the goal. No, solo la longaniza. Sí,
Esa es una longaniza.
sí. Thank you. Gracias. When you come eat at Chino Grande, I think the idea here is you're curious about how can we connect the dots between the two? What's going on? How is this working? For the Wonton Caldo, we're connecting soup and dumpling. I used to actually fold the wontons at my house. So my mom would decide to make them for dinner. And so she was smart, she taught me how to wrap them. I would wrap them while she was making other things and prepping like vegetables or whatever else was there for dinner. And I was always super into folding because I got to watch TV while I was doing it. And then what would happen is I would fold enough until it was enough for dinner, and then she would start cooking them, and then I would stop. If I hadn't finished, then I got to go back to folding the wontons. So then it was like I got to watch more TV. The menu here is like an homage to these Chinese Latino restaurants that opened in New York City in the 1960s and 70s. It's a story about a double immigration. It's a story about Chinese immigrants that immigrated to different Latin American countries, and they immigrated here to the US and ended up opening Chinese restaurants. That's kind of where the Wonton Caldo kind of came in. We cooked the stock with chicken, pork, and beef, and inside the broth, there's onions and leeks and ginger and garlic. You basically make a tare, which means sauce, that is the base seasoning. And there's always like a flavored oil. And then you add this very clean but beautifully flavored broth on top, and then you mix it together, and then you have this perfectly seasoned broth. We make it all pork wonton, and it's this really thick skin, and it's super chewy and it's yellow. There's diced kabocha in there, there's diced taro, and a little bit of corn. And then we garnish it with cilantro and scallions and actually a little bit of celery. It's very umami forward, which I think then this Nigori Taiheizan will be really great because it's really clean in the front, but it's looking for something savory to complement it, right? It's a good date. And it'll be nice, we finish the broth with just a touch of white pepper, so there's a little bit of heat on the back that will also kind of round this whole experience up. The family or the producers that make this, they also make misos and soy sauces or shoyus. They clearly know how to produce the ultimate umami, you know? They're making these misos and these soy sauces, and the soy is, again, the base of this tare that we're doing for the caldo. This sake is really yearning for something umami. We should always be using their sake and their soy sauce when we're cooking. Well, it's like the perfect pairing. You've got the salinity from the caldo, and you've got the dryness from the Taiheizan, and it really balances out, and then you get this little bit of sweetness from the squash and the corn, and it brightens everything up here, and it really tastes refreshing. I think the beautiful combination of the Taiheizan with this is that it wants you having more, you know? So the umami from the soup, and I drink a little bit of the sake, it wants me to have more soup. And so they're really complementary, and so they almost are playing off each other for, again, like more.